Hello and greetings from across the Media Multiverse. Today I've got 3 questions for you. 1. We can believe everything that we see on television, correct? 2. As the saying goes, the camera never lies, correct? And 3. If on our television we are beamed pictures of astronauts landing on Mars and the spaceship blowing up on re-entry to Earth, that is also true because of the first 2 questions, correct? Three astronauts train for the first ever trip between Earth and Mars. However, on launch day, they are pulled aside from the spacecraft and brought to a studio set. It turns out that the trip to Mars is in reality a fake. It is a deception. It is a deception that NASA needs to keep. And in order to make this deception work, they film messages from the astronauts to Earth from the studio set. Also, the ship is destroyed on re-entry to Earth, thus killing the astronauts. And the astronauts are going to be given a full hero's burial complete with honours. And that is what the TV broadcasts show. In reality, the 3 astronauts are brought to a holding centre, a studio set, by NASA. As events progress, the astronauts realise that in order to maintain the deception, they genuinely have to be dead, because you can't have a full military funeral and then the astronauts going to the local supermarket. It's just not going to work. Once they realise this, they flee from the studio set and they are pursued to be killed. In order to give themselves a greater chance to tell the world of what is actually going on, the reality of this Mars hoax, the 3 astronauts split up. And so we follow each astronaut as they outrun or try to outrun their pursuers. Despite all this, not everyone on Earth is convinced by what they have seen on television. And at this point, enter Elliot Gould, who plays a reporter. He has a friend who works for NASA, and the friend just can't get his head around it. The sums just do not add up. And so the reporter decides to investigate what did actually happen on launch day. The first thing to say about this movie is that it probably fuels all the conspiracy stories about the real moon landings of 1969. That is the biggest drawback for me of this film. That aside, this is a very good movie. It boasts strong acting and strong direction throughout. And the cat and mouse chase between NASA and the astronaut kept me guessing throughout the whole movie. And I also loved the villainy of the NASA head, Dr. Kellaway. He forces the astronauts to initially play ball with the deception by explaining that another failed mission would see NASA lose its funding. In order for NASA to retain the funding and to pursue the space race, it must be seen that American astronauts have actually landed on Mars. And to me, that is what makes Dr. Kellaway a good adversary. He's got that twisted viewpoint where in his own mind he is actually the hero of the day. also, the plight of the stranded astronauts are well played out. You can sense the danger they're in, whether in the desert or the potential in uncovering and explaining the truth. And of course, there's the reporter who nobody believes because his assertions, the Mars landings are fake, are so fantastical. I mean, let's face it, NASA is a reliable organisation. Why would it fake TV images? And to be honest, I am surprised that NASA allowed their images and branding to be used in this film. But that's by the by. Subtly, this film does ask bigger questions. Can you really believe what you see? And that is probably more important today with the growth of AI in the 1970s. Can we truly say that the camera never lies today? But, conversely, if we deny the evidence of every seemingly impossible feat, will we stunt our growth as a race? Big questions for what is, in effect, an action thriller. But these are questions that have arisen over time and I'm sure will be discussed in many times to come. But back to the film. If you're looking for a good example of 1970s cinema, this film, Capricorn 1, is actually a very good example of such a genre, and I hope you enjoy it. And that's my thought on Capricorn 1. Have you seen it? If so, grateful for any comments. If not, I would recommend it. It is a good film, totally entertaining, totally engaging. So, until next time, may your news be good news and happy times and places. Farewell.